I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg,
We are the CRM players, and yes, we did survive IRL 26.
and we're having T-shirts made to that effect. I survived IRL 26.
Only if you did survive it.
Well, if you didn't survive it, you don't need a T-shirt.
Oh, look, I got a notification from YouTube saying Players Production Network. Watch live now. CRM players.
I'm
Good to
sure
know.
it probably that notification probably beat your notification saying live.
Actually, this time around, StreamYard seemed to be like up to speed. So,
They heard you.
anyway, it is actually a pretty nice Thursday here in Atlanta compared to last Thursday, which was rather cold.
Yeah, but we were busy as hell.
We were because we were hosting the apparently the second annual
Yeah,
IRL event, which was IRL 26.
it went from one-off IRL 25 to annual IRL 26.
Yes. And by the way, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we are the CRM players, and we've been bringing that since 2009. We have yet to find out what that is, but keep hope
Again,
alive.
Nicholas Kane can tell us.
Nicholas Kane? Who's Nicholas Kane?
I mean, Nicholas Cage. I wouldn't
Oh,
like
Nicholas
saying
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Like, who's Nicholas Kane?
Nicholas Cage can tell us.
Maybe you need Nicholas Cage to find Nicholas Kane. I don't know, but we'll be on.
I'll get a hold of him and see if he can handle it.
So I'm looking, and we might have to pass the usual moment of Sven because Sven is not here right now.
What? He was overwhelmed by his star turn last week.
And a good evening to you, Tony, and thank you for being with us last week and for being virtually with us now.
That's right. With that big old smile of yours, man.
Yeah, I never seen that smile leave his face. So.
No, me either. He's become the male Ann Chen.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, Shashi is also one of them smilers. Too.
Yeah. Maybe we'll put together a small little group of them. See everybody, Eternal Smile, the Eternal Smile Society, the ESS.
Ah, look who's here. It is time for the moment is Finn.
Oh, okay. German.
Freund is friend.
Freund, yeah.
I think. Okay.
It's,
you know what the other parts of that is?
Zeit, Gergrunst,
Zeitgeist.
Freunde. He's basically saying, I think it's like the equivalent of "Hey, welcome, hey, my friends," or something like that. I don't know German, but it's halfway through Zeigesund.
So we'll be waiting for the official answer from Sven. But in the meantime, happy belated St. Patty's Day to you too, Indira.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the quote of the century.
What's that?
Indira, quote of the century. The one that
yes. Oh, I should have had that queued up because that's the official comment from IRL 26. It was right. So real. What is it? It was so real. It was unreal or something like that.
Something like
that.
No,
the real talk was unreal. That was
the real talk was unreal.
Real talk was unreal.
Which is now our official slogan.
Yeah, I like that.
The real talk was unreal.
I don't know if that means
Holy Ocha. I have no idea what that means.
No, maybe it means that
it doesn't count anyway, though. Only Svens are official.
No, but I'm getting back. The real talk is unreal. Does that mean she didn't believe any of it, and we're all liars? Is that kind of what that means?
It meant that we were all. I have no idea.
Hey, Erwin,
we missed you, man. I know Enterprise Connect threw you off, but we'll make sure you're there next year. Promise. Promise. I mean, it's going to be up to you to do 50% of the promise is your commitment too, but we'll give you our 50% is we will do everything in our power to make sure you can be there. And the other 50% is you decide you want to come.
Oh, Shashi, you are creating nostalgia for last week. Oh,
yes,
wow. Are you longing for last week? Is that what's going on?
We want people to emote today.
I don't that
cry, laugh,
emote,
groan,
hurl,
moan,
hurl,
be angry, upset.
How about the humans in the room part? And glad no agents autonomously attended.
Ooh.
I have nothing
Really?
against autonomous agents.
I remember seeing anything like that, but you're really good with that, man. You are good.
And Erwin I see, Erwin, you should have sent your agent.
No agents are autonomously attended. Wow.
You never know, though. Those agents can be pretty sneaky. All right, is this it? Sven, did Sven give us an answer yet?
Well, again, Sven, we'll figure it out for next year where you can literally deliver the moment of Sven live. We'll work it out with you.
Yeah, but in the meantime, is he right this week?
Is it German?
Got to let us know.
No, we can't move on without you, you know.
Let's see. Enterprise Connect moved to the last week of March in 2020.
Okay.
That's because they heard about us and they're like, hey, we can't compete with them.
Couldn't compete.
Yeah. They better move. Damn it. Anyway. Hello, Andrew. I tried inviting my Fathom note taker. Okay. I doubt that worked out for you, but good try.
We've been talking a little bit. Andrew's a good guy.
Okay. I'll take your word for it, unless he's a rabid Boston sports fan. Then
that I don't know yet. I mean, in my opinion, will turn on a Boston dime.
Sven, we are glad to have you, but we still need the answer for this week's moment of Sven. Please answer us.
Please tell us.
Please. Oh, there it is. You were right.
That was but it was very easy. After last week, I'll tell you, last week was a stroke of genius. I have to admit, Klingon.
Klingon was strong.
Right. Well, again, if I had heard it, I would have gotten it, but I never saw it written, so I didn't get it.
Well,
Kim Rometto.
Kim Rometto from the Hawks.
She got it like 1 second.
Yeah, she was quick on the draw on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So as you might have guessed, this week we decided we're going to do a post-game IRL show. Usually a post-game happens directly afterwards, but hey, you know what? We're still fresh in our minds, as you can see. So we're good.
This is about as directly afterwards as we can actually handle.
I am. But before we do that, I do have a few housekeeping items. I still don't know what the difference is between housekeeping and house cleaning. I mean, quite honestly, but
I can easily tell you, but we don't have time.
We don't have time. Let's get into it. So just found out today, or solidified today. See if I can bring this in. All right. So we announced at the event last week that we are going to be teaming up with our good buddy, who also is a Boston sports fan. I don't really know how we allowed this to happen. But
Bagel, Ron Miller.
Ron Miller, he is our buddy. We do like him, despite his rather large shortcomings in sports. But we are partnering with him to do a monthly show, and his newsletter and blog is called Fast Forward. So we're calling the show Fast Forward on PP. And you know, that took a lot of deep thought, right?
Yeah, you had to get the word on properly.
Yeah.
I had to figure that part out. That was hard.
It was tough coming up with that.
Took a couple of weeks, but you nailed it. You friggin' nailed it.
It'll be the third Wednesday of the month, 2 p.m. Eastern. The very first show, maybe we call it the pilot. I don't know. The pilot show will be April 15th. Just so happens to be your favorite day, tax day.
God,
I like that.
Taxes.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm doing this week. The only break I'm taking, well, not this week, starting today, actually. The only break I'm taking today and tomorrow from doing taxes and getting my car inspected is this show. Other than that, I am out of action. Just to be a little bit curious, if there is anybody who actually loves April 15th tax day, please let us know in the comments section. Then please hang up from the show. Please leave the show immediately. Okay, once again, Ron Miller, and I'm going to be hanging out with him for the first few of these, but eventually the show will evolve and you'll see other people on there, much smarter than me. But that's Fast Forward on PPN, 2 p.m. April 15th, and every third Wednesday of the month. Now that that's settled, watch for an announcement on the days and times monthly of Rated PG next week. Okay. Next week's show.
and we didn't get a chance to put a little image on there, but we just found out, hot off the presses, one of our favorite shows of every year. It's when we get a chance to get on the road to Bega with the one and only Alan Treffler. We like to say it's an event unlike any other. It's
the master of the averse.
Yes, so we will be he will be coming to you on the April 2nd show, which is what, 2 weeks from today or something like that?
Yeah, 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks. So Alan Treffler, you know him, you love him. Talk about straight shooters. That's about as straight a shooting as you can get.
Yes, sir. And next week, and the 24th, which is Tuesday, is that right? Yeah, 24th at 2 p.m. will be Game On with me and Todd Harris. So we're working on a guest. We'll let you know who it is the day of the show.
Just make sure the guest knows they're the guest the day of the show.
No, they don't yet.
Hello, Bob.
Hello, Newman.
I just like saying that's why I like saying it like that.
Hello.
He's the CRM Playazz representation of Newman. So we say hello, Bob.
Hello, Jerry.
All right. So I don't think I have anything else. So we thought we would take this time to just, we're not gonna tell anybody what to say, but we would love to just get some feedback. Actually, we've gotten a ton of feedback already, so we just want to hear what some of the other people that we haven't had a chance to talk to since the end of the event, just to get their take on it. It could be good, it could be, have some recommendations, some suggestions. You know what, I hated this. You could do this better. Well, whatever comes to mind, whatever thoughts you want to share with us, we're glad to take it. I'll just warn you that we can take you off the air at any point in time. So if you say anything you don't like,
let me make one preemptive statement. No, it's not going to be 2 days. Okay. We literally must have had 5, 6, 7 people come up and say, you need to make this 2 days. And my answer was, okay, 2 days next year and Moscone West the year after. And no, we won't.
Okay. So we're not doing that. Apparently.
I'm just telling you, don't even bring it up.
1 day is quite enough work for us.
Oh my God.
All right. So you have some folks lined up that we're going to just kind of rapid fire, spend a few minutes with each of these folks, get their feedback, get their take, their experiences about what took place last week. So who are we starting with?
I think we have Adrian Swinsko up first. I can't see who's in the green room.
Oh, he's in the green room. And look at this dude he's walking and talking. Look at this, Adrian.
Oh, wow.
Hey, man, how you doing?
What are you at an event or something? You're walking around?
Where are you?
I am in Seattle.
Nice.
Oh, the Qualtrics.
Yes, I am. And I was sat down. I thought I had a good spot, and then the Wi-Fi went a bit wonky. So I wandered around this corridor because it seems to be stronger down here.
Oh, so you're actually at the convention center?
Yeah.
Cool.
Apparently they have pretty good Wi-Fi if you're walking around like that in there.
Well, it seems so. I was in the corner, and I think I must have got a bit of a dud spot. So you were all kind of breaking up. So I thought I'd move.
Well, it sounded good. So
the broadcast quality was a little bit better than.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for taking some time away from the conference there, because I know there's a lot going on out there as well. But first of all, thank you for not just being a virtual. You are leading the charge when it comes to the watch party. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for that.
Look, it was brilliant. It was a lot of fun. There was also a lot of hats randomly displayed at one point.
I heard somebody say, because I was checking out the recording. It wasn't supposed to be like that, but all of a sudden all these hats started showing up, and then somebody said it was in tribute to Michael Wu.
I think it initially started with Graham in tribute to Michael Wu, put on a kind of flat cap, and then there was an avalanche of flat caps. I had like a straw sort of like trilby, and then like a bit of a skull cap. James at one point had like a racing helmet on. It was kind of crazy. It looked like, I thought he was actually putting on he was doing a kind of like a spaceman thing, but actually it's an old motorbike helmet.
I
And
actually heard Grant say that you were all woonatics.
We spent a lot of time trying to figure out that where the kind of the origin of the word lunatic come from, and at what point did it transition from being members of the Lunar Society into being something kind of pejorative. And I think it's like two different journeys. Anyway, that's some of the randomness that we ended up getting into.
Well, I also saw Jeremy Cox pulled out his pipe at one point.
A 21st century one. I did. I was intrigued. Kind of I said, "Is that a proper one, or is that one of those kind of like 21st century vape sort of things?" And he was like, "Unfortunately, it's a 21st century kind of vape."
Okay. All right.
It did look quite convincing though.
So what did I mean? It was it was obviously very different. There were a number of people who were meeting each other. I mean, I know you knew a lot of the people, but there was a number of people meeting each other for the first time with like Meg and people like that.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that chemistry go?
I think it's all pretty natural, because I think it felt pretty natural. I mean, there was. I guess you've just got to make sure that you just come and you listen and you can be open, and then you can. But then, in my job, I thought was just to try and get to a point where we just go, we need to bring it back to this, and then bring people in and do that. And I didn't actually, to be fair, have to do that very much at all. I think the people that entered into in the right sort of like spirit. And, to be fair, we weren't really paying a lot of attention to kind of what you guys were saying. There was like somebody would say something, and then it was like that dog out of the film Up. It was like, oh, squirrel, and then we were off down a rabbit hole somewhere.
Sounds like the typical watch party for us.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard routine.
And then we can there's a transition to another speaker. Let's focus in again and see what they're talking about. Oh, and then we're off again, something else. So I must say, a big shout out to everybody that joined in, and people stayed oftentimes for longer than they wanted to, or they had planned to rather. And I think it's really good. I mean, I was on there for a total of probably about 7 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was pretty whacked at the end, but it was it was fun. It was fun, and so I'm really, really happy. It sounded like they had a great event, kind of in person, but it was good fun, and hopefully some people got some stuff out of it. Kind of like if they did to tune in. Otherwise, it was just like a whole bunch of kind of like random folks talking to each other, kind of like over kind of a film that was running in the background.
So, is there anything you would suggest for next year we do different, better? Then something we didn't think about that we probably should. Anything?
I think that if I was to do this again, I think that the thing I would do is to be more of like almost like a talk show host, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, it's almost say to go, or up next we've got X, they're talking about them. Here's a broad synopsis of what they're going to be talking about. Let's kind of like focus in, almost like prime the conversation. I think might be quite a useful way to do it. Because then if you have people watching it, then it's like you sort of frame what's going to happen. It doesn't stop you going and doing random things or talking about random stuff, but you maybe just frame it rather than it just being a really organic, we're just going to journey through this together. And I think that might actually help the guests kind of coming on, because they can go, oh, there's this, and I understand what that's about, and therefore I can sync with that a bit better.
Well, hopefully next year you actually come to the event.
Yeah, well,
we prefer that, and we're doing. I know Enterprise Connect has now changed the date, so they're out, so we don't have to worry about them. And then it's just a matter of doing it at a date and time where people can actually, like you, can show up. Because I'll tell you, it would be awesome to have you.
Yeah, no, I'd love to come again. I mean, I was there the first year last year, and it was great. And I'd love to kind of come again. But it was really good to be kind of involved as the watch party, because I can do it as a distance. I mean, the practical thing that stopped me coming this year really was more that I was traveling this week.
Right.
And I don't want to be away and then have to maybe go back and then travel again. And
too much.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no. And so it was like a practicality. Also, other kind of fun fact is I didn't want to give. I'm doing a woodworking course.
Wow.
And it happens on a Tuesday evening, and I didn't want to give up another Tuesday evening because there's only 4 kind of like episodes, as it were, and I'm giving up one coming to this. And so I don't know if I end up doing half the course, and then I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So there was all these other kind of dynamics, sort of like planning and everything else. But it was cool. I mean, I'm glad to have helped.
Well, you were wonderful, and thank you very, very much. I know we had a much better conference than Qualtrics does, but but enjoy Qualtrics and say hello to those who we probably know.
Yeah, I will do. I will give you a big shout out to everybody else who's going to be joining. Thank you very much. Hopefully I'll see you all again soon.
Take care, man. Safe travels back home.
Thank you. All the best. Big hugs.
All right. We better let him get on his way. So very good to see hhim, though. That was a very lively watch party. I got a chance to see.
Yeah, I watched a decent amount of it too. I was really thrilled to see Graham Hill there. I have to admit, he wasn't originally.
I couldn't recognize him because he had a hat on. I'd never seen him with a hat on before. So.
Plus, he was completely clean shaven, which he normally isn't. He usually has a day or two old beard. But it was him, and you know what he said? He said IRL was a lot of fun. That was the way.
Good. All right, who's up next?
We have Dean Landsman up next. Bring him on, man.
There he is.
Hey, sir. And first, thanks for coming to IRL 2026, of course. And so tell us about it. What happened? How was it?
No, you're muted, by the way.
Mute.
How's that?
Yeah,
you can hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I want you to know, since IRL, I have green things growing out of my head.
Wow.
I want to start off with something. Before IRL began, sitting in the lobby of the Elements, other members of the good thing, also known as the happy hour, we were sitting around and we had an incredible conversation, a very close sort of conversation. And that's the kind of thing that grows out of this, which I think is just wonderful. And it was really very nice. And it almost set the stage for us. And that's one thing. And so we get to IRL, and it was like you get to reunite, you get to meet some people. You also get to meet people beyond just the rectangles, like we have rectangles here. And that's just so good. And, you know, it's interesting. Some people, you meet them, it's like, oh, good to meet you. Other people, you just hug them because you're so happy to see them. And other people, you think, oh, that's what you look like in person? Mm-hmm. There was one guy, I won't name names, who said hello to me. I'm looking at him thinking, who the hell is this? And then I looked at his name tag. I thought, that's what he looks like in person.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is somebody I actually really like. And I thought, why don't I recognize him? And I wonder if people feel that way about me. Maybe they do.
I tell you, one just did. Ron Miller just posted, it was great meeting you.
Oh, I feel the same way. Yeah. We were sitting by each other, and it's that was a good stroke of love. Pete, speaking of sitting by each other, recommendation for next year: force people to move around, a little bit of musical chairs. You shouldn't spend the whole time in one place, because it would be better just to, at least once move around a bit. Another recommendation: more breaks, and I'll tell you why. There was one person I had written to before we got there saying, hey, listen, there's something I really want to talk to you about. I want to show you something. It'll take a little bit. We figured we needed 10 or 15 minutes. We couldn't do that till the thing was over. And I would like for there to be a break or two where, a lot of us know each other, but we don't get, in-person time, FaceTime. I don't mean FaceTime. With each other. And this was a unique opportunity to do that. And it would be good if we had breaks that weren't, we might have to get together anytime soon when, Paul and Brent call us back. So if there would be, we now have 15 minutes, and there were those tables outside and tables in the, we'll call the podcast room. It would be good to have moments like that, and not moments like, 10 or 15 minutes. That would be
Are you
real
talking
good.
about more breaks? Or you talking about longer breaks?
Yeah, you must have been talking to people during the breaks that we had. because we had 10 or 15-minute breaks in there.
15.
Yeah.
I felt those
15-minute breaks and an hour lunch.
those struck me as very ad hoc.
No, we had them in the agenda. There was
Yeah, they were
there was like a 15-minute break in the morning, then lunch, then we came back, and then there was a 15-minute break in the afternoon.
in the afternoon. I mean, it might be longer breaks would be something like 5 more minutes or something. We can't, given the content, it's really hard to do that. Although, look, ultimately, it's a community meeting, right?
Yeah.
With content attached.
And people, I know the content was good, but if you want to have a conversation, I don't think anybody's feelings would be hurt if you went out and just talked to folks during the event.
But who wants to miss anything?
Ooh, very good.
All right, and another thing. Where is this? Oh, my wife refers to this that we're doing right now as a post-mortem of in real life, which is
Post-mortem?
Of in real life.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, we want to keep it a post game for the moment,
All right.
especially with you and me, our age, Gene. Let's go post game.
Yeah, we'll just do post-game.
Post game.
Okay. Now, something I'd like to suggest.
Okay.
There were a lot of speakers, and I don't necessarily know all the speakers or know how to contact them. And I would love it if you could distribute how to reach them, email, or possibly, if I don't know how exactly you could do this, but I know it was captured. If you could distribute the on request, I guess, a video of the presentations themselves.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah, those are definitely coming. I think we have about 20 plus hours of content that we're gonna have to go through. But yeah, and I wish we had thought about that, because when we had the event site up, they had all the speakers in their LinkedIn profile. You could have just connected there, but we'll have to get permission before we could give things out.
And then what we can do is put out maybe the LinkedIn profiles, and people can contact through LinkedIn.
Apparently, Tony agrees with you, Dean. He said having a little longer breaks and continuing an hour or two longer would have been great.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well,
Yeah, we'll take it into consideration.
Yeah, that's a maybe doable.
That's maybe. Listen, well, and Dean, we're going to move on, but thanks again, and thanks for just being a member of the happy hour crew too. So
and of course a giant hug and
big hug.
I know you're friendly with
just froze.
Go Yankees.
Oh, you got to get that in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All
Season is just right around the corner.
I know, next week.
All right. We'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, man.
All right. You know what? Before we bring on our next guest, because I think he's chomping at the bit. I could see him.
It's actually. Oh no, it's a
no. It's got to be because his time.
Oh yeah, we're over. You're not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll reverse it.
For Donnie, thank you so much. And Donnie had a great pregame event before the opening reception too. All right,
pre-party.
I heard that somebody else mentioned the idea of more longer content. We got to think of that one, because quite honestly, I kind of like when the days starts at 8:30 ish and ends at 4, and then that gives people a lot of time to do other stuff. But we'll keep here.
We have a lot of things to take into consideration.
Yeah. All right. So the next person up, a man who is known to have ideas and thoughts and opinions on a couple of different things. He is the one that you call, now that we all call, the Brohammer is here.
There he is.
Hey, I got the ad hoc setup. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can say. And you're also sitting with the fishes.
I am. We are underwater. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, yeah, I'm coming in hot, man. I'm coming in hot. It's been a busy day at Brohammer and Brohammer, man. Their phones are ringing off the hook.
That was an awesome commercial.
I know.
A little bit of an inside joke, but maybe on the event replay you'll be able to catch that for yourself. But yeah, glad to be joining. What's going on, guys?
Well, you fill us in on you good, the bad, the what
The
we
Brohammer.
think we should do.
All right. Well,
Brohammer and the boom in Brohammer and Brohammer's business.
Well, listen. So, the thing that's really on my mind today is how the sort of like manic obsession with all things AI has really diverted, I think, away from the messy realities of being human in our industry. And you alluded to it already, but it starts with community. And I applaud your efforts to center an event around community. And just to think about it from an executive standpoint, every day you hear stuff around, oh, all these layoffs happen because of AI. Well, it turns out it's bullshit. 90% of that wasn't AI, but maybe 10% of it was, and we need to understand what that 10% is all about. Or you have AWS leaking bad code into production, and you're using the same vibe coding tools as there. What do you do? Or you have your executive, oh, Claude Code works awesome at home. Look what I built. Well, that's not enterprise grade. Well, what does enterprise grade mean? This is a complicated time to be alive. You know how you figure that stuff out? You figure out in community with your peers. That's how it's done. That's how you make sense of the world right now. And we shouldn't lose track of that. And I think what your event, you can talk about improving it all you want. And I have a couple ideas, but what you're getting at is at the core of what we need right now. And not just on the ground, but all year round, because it's only through context with each other that we can grapple with the current realities. Just to give you an example, after Esteban's provocative keynote, I pulled him down for a podcast and we hashed it out and put that out there too. And it's like, this is how we get to the bottom of things together. And I think that's why your event is so timely for me right now.
Well, it's the purpose of it is literally what you just described. So couldn't have been any more succinct. So what are your suggestions?
Well, look, I mean, I think it's the spirit of keeping a little bit of experimentation alive in the context of the event. I think to me, there's two things that jump out. One is, what about, because so much of this is about, like, in my mind, what you all have done to not just have enterprise conversations, but to turn them into shows. So what about halfway through the day, you take submittals for ideas for a new show, like maybe a one-off, but just to happen that afternoon in your streaming space and just do a show. I know you have people upstage for kind of ask a question. What if someone wants to pitch you a show and just take it live that afternoon? I think that'd be really...
The last show of that day was literally from that perspective. It was done prior to the event.
Yeah.
But that was every single person on that, not the authors, but the Elaine, Donnie, and Eric actually put out, everyone got questionnaires. They put out what the thing they want, their idea. And then we picked 3 of them to be on the show. And it was a one-off.
Yep. And I just think it would be really cool because, like, one of the things I've liked best in more spontaneous event cultures that are sadly mostly gone now is pull up a whiteboard in the middle of a show and start doing a session. So why not challenge the people at the event to say, hey, a topic resonated with you that you heard about this morning? We challenge you to make it into a show this afternoon and go live. I just think that would be cool.
Like that.
So, kind of interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I just think it's cool because it's like, I like the distinction between a conversation and a show. That's all. Like show takes it to another level. You know what I mean? Anyway. No. And the final thing I just want to say is that, like, I know folks will get a chance to catch replays and they'll see videos and podcasts, stuff that happened. But I think one of the good things we should challenge ourselves on is, what were our top takeaways from the event? And I think it'd be really cool to think about a recap. This is a little bit different because you're gathering kind of ad hoc feedback. It'd be really cool to have some panelists on and say, what were your top 3 things you took from the day that you're going to go apply in your life or your project? Because I think one of the challenges we have right now is kind of boiling things down, right? Heard a ton of ideas. It was awesome. What are you going to apply from that? Or what have you applied? I think that would be super interesting also. But otherwise, mark me down for next year. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Can we mark the cowboy down too? He had a rough time getting there.
Well, I had to lasso the cowboy, which is kind of ironic because you would think the cowboy would have a lasso, but ironically enough, he has to be lassoed. I can't make commitments for him, but I feel good about our chances. So let's try again.
Okay, you're on, sir, and thank you.
All right.
All right, man.
You're the
Thanks
best,
again.
man.
Rock and
care.
roll. Catch you later.
All righty. Oh, one thing, as he was talking, I was thinking about the thing he talked about with the people giving like their things that they take away and will try to kind of implement. If you just do a search in LinkedIn on the IRL 26 tag, you'll see a lot of that. There's a ton of people who have written down their thoughts about the event and the things that caught their attention, and the kind of like doing their own like recaps.
Yep.
I'm going to put together a post with links to a lot of that, because these people who have put their recaps on, they're each going into things that were interesting to them. And if you look across the aggregate, there are lots of different things that caught their attention.
I think also both Jesus and Shashi both aggregated a number of those posts too.
Yeah, but there's still posts coming in. Like right before the show, Michael Wu wrote something, and it was very detailed. So yeah, we'll try to maybe aggregating all that stuff is really I think will be interesting, because everybody came at this with their own unique perspective and the things that they were interested in and focused on. And it's, although AI of course is amongst all that stuff, but it's not just the same perspective when it comes to AI. They all have their own perspective, and I thought just taking in some of the stuff. I haven't taken in it all because there's a lot out there, but it was really interesting to me to see just how varied the perspectives are when it comes to the thing that everybody's talking about right now, which is AI.
All right. Well, I think I can't see the green room, so I have to presume that people are there.
Who do you have next?
The next is our partner in crime and development, Chanel Wheeler, who is our genius our graphics genius, our awesome partner, in fact. So Chanel, welcome, and thank you once again for not just being there, but for everything you did, including the things that we weren't expecting, like that thing with the QR codes for the books, which ended up being the way we distributed the books once again. So tell us you're thinking about the conference, what we could have done that we didn't do, what we did wrong that we didn't do, or that we did do, and how to fix it. And tell us what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I feel like I've seen you guys almost every day this week, so that's a treat. But I thought that the conference was great. There was just such a spirit of energy and kindness that was really genuine that you don't always get at other events. And to say that even the word conference isn't not the right word, because it doesn't reflect the normal corporate conference that you would think of. So I really love the fact that, because I've been putting people in these circles for the website and everything, and noticing people's faces, that I could just walk up to people and say, "Hey, aren't you so-and-so?" And they just would immediately know who I am, especially if I did their PPN show branding. Shashi, Jesus, I finally got a chance to meet them in person, and they just automatically just welcome me with a hug or a picture. I don't know if they knew who I was because my name tag, but I feel like they just knew my face. And I don't think you get that everywhere. So I really appreciated how fast you can connect with people, and just everyone just being so kind. So that was awesome.
It's basically the way it's characterized at this point. It's a community with content.
There you go.
Right.
I think it was, everybody loved the badges. Everybody loved the badges. I when she sent me the first one, I was like, that's nice. I don't think I've ever like posted a badge before, but I said, this looks nice. Let me see if anybody is interested. So I put the badges together because I used her template and put them together, and then I sent out the email. And I was like, look, you don't have to use, I just put it here. You don't have to use it. No pressure, because some of these folks, they speak every week, and It was amazing. I think it was like 95% of the folks used it. And some of the folks that I figured, oh, they don't have time to put any of that stuff. They were like the first ones to put the thing up. So it was amazing to me just to see how much they enjoyed, and I guess they were attracted to just by the way the design was, to those badges, and how much they would be, I'm speaking so and so. So that in itself for me was a big eye opener, because I did not think it would be that big of a hit. But once again, Chanel knows better than I do when it comes to
Well, that's pretty much the way this whole thing works, actually. The way it's always worked with Chanel, for those of you who haven't met her, is she's not just a person who does the graphics and the videos and the audio stuff. She's a strategist too, and she's working with us. We'll go, well, we think we want this and this and this. And she'll go, well, maybe the way you should do it is this and this and this. And our immediate response is, oh, yeah, you're right. And we would just go do that. Whatever it was. At this point, she just does some of these things and we're fine, right? So it's really, that's not only the level of trust, but that's also how good she really is at, and the way she thinks about them. So what are the things we didn't do that we should have, or we did wrong, that we should improve?
Well, number one, I appreciate the trust and autonomy in working with y'all, because it's always fun. But I think that lots of things went really well, and it was a vast improvement from last year, which was great too. Two of the things that I would say is, one, when we were at the post game thing at the basketball game, I was talking to Christy and Jody, and some music was playing, and we were kind of doing the little shoulder rub, and I was like, would it be fun if there was like an IRL like party, like a little music, or like, maybe it would be the day before, or I don't know. Maybe it would be during the donuts, we'd have a little music and be able to just interact with each other in a different type of way that's not as business-like, just for a little bit. And then also, I think it would be great to highlight more of the PPN shows in the community room on the main stage, like this is happening now. And maybe even have some audience participation or giveaways like during the breaks between the shows. And maybe that would also be able to increase the audience in that room as well. Because I think people just get caught up in the main stage and forget that the other stuff is going on.
Yeah, I think we averaged maybe 20, 25 people at varying points in the community room with the shows, which, was okay. But
well, I think we had more people involved this year than last year. And we still give ourselves some room to grow and still be in, because I think the venue, I didn't hear anybody say a bad word about the venue. And I think if we can get a couple of more people involved maybe next year, and that kind of evens things out, because I think most people are going to be in the main room, but I know we had way more people in the, I call it the live studio audience, the live studio audience room this year than last year.
Oh yeah.
And maybe next year we can allow a few more people in, and then maybe we'll get it closer to an evening of people in both those rooms. But yeah, I think there's most people. Well, I think, didn't Dean just say not only were most people in the room, but they were sitting in the same spot throughout the whole thing. So maybe we need to just get some movement going and get people flowing back and forth a little bit better.
Yeah, and not to take away from the main stage, because that's great too. Just letting people know, like, hey, this is going on over here. Just reiterating a little bit more, because I even was able to see more of the shows this year than last year, just because I just kind of thought about, let me go over there, let me switch back and forth. So, but both sides are really great though.
And if things go as we think they might, and there's nothing to guarantee this will happen, we'll probably have by next year's IRL an additional 5 or 6 shows. So you already heard the announcement of one, and mine is not. I'm not calling mine as one of the new ones, but we already have 3 or 4 in the hopper beyond that. So, that might actually impact the way we do it next year.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you, my dear, as always, and we'll be in touch. In fact,
I'll be in touch later today, because we got a new show that needs an intro and an outro. So,
and be ready for Steve Reese too. I just reached out to him. So,
Awesome. Well, great seeing you guys again, as always.
Same.
All right, take care. Go Ohio State.
I didn't like the way you said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's about as good as I could. Oh yeah, I forget the V.
Yeah,
I'm St. John's for this. That's my
Ohio
best.
State actually lost, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm a U guy, so at least I still feel like they stole my 2002 college championship.
They probably did. Believe me. So Ohio State is pretty much sure they did. Again, I'm Big 10 or Big 28 or whatever it is now.
Yeah, big. Yeah,
Big 72.
I can't believe that Cal is now a member of the ACC.
I know.
That makes absolutely no damn sense. But anyway, who's up next?
Well, actually, the maestro is up next.
Who the hell's that?
Jeff Bond, right?
No, he isn't, because I don't
Not
see
there. All right. Well, then he's not up next. All right. Well,
I'll give you. I can tell you who I see. I'll give you a hint.
Is Seat there?
Yes.
All right. He made it. Good. Well, this is always an amazing pleasure. And as we found out, this gentleman is an incredibly good lyrics writer. So let's bring on the head of Sports Entertainment Alliance and Technology. And I'd be safe to say he's a PPN, where PPN and Seat are partnering now. Josh Barney.
All right. And as we bring him on, James Kelly. Stanford is in the ACC. This doesn't make any damn sense.
So stupid. So hey, Josh, thanks for coming, man, and thanks for being there with you and Kim. Just did a great job, and thanks for being on Rated PG on the pilot too.
Yeah, absolutely. Not knowing what to expect going into it, it was such a pleasant surprise to kind of see the community that you have there and see how they interact with each other, and just the presentations alone, it was really great to kind of get that view behind the curtain to kind of see those things. So I had a fantastic time.
Well, you also helped everyone else have a fantastic time. So tell me what given your look, Seat is a community, really. I mean, it and has been since day one and continues to be. But they're different types of communities, right? At the same time, talk a little bit about, in comparison to, say, Seat, how you see what we were doing at IRL, and and also what we can do, from, let's say, some of the things you've learned at Seat, how we could improve a bit, or what we weren't doing that we might want to do, things that we just did wrong, etc.
Honestly, I didn't view anything that I would really consider wrong as well. But from the community perspective, Seat is obviously comprised of sports executives and people who work behind the scenes in, the venues and that, and folks from the entertainment side of it. One of the things I loved about your community is the diversity of backgrounds in where people are coming from that way. Because as I mentioned before, that's actually one of the things that I think is one of the most important pieces that sports can have, is seeing how people do those things outside of their own industry, so that we're not always in the echo chamber. And that was actually from the diversity, again, of not only the people who are participating, but the presentations and all those things. That was actually one of the things I absolutely loved. Michael Wu's stuff, talking about the lunatics, and Jeff's conversation that he had around kind of the storytelling and all of those things actually were absolutely fantastic for me to be able to sit and just kind of absorb and watch. From the execution of the event, and that I actually really loved it. Again, you had multiple things kind of going on at the same time, which I know how hard that can be. And so it was actually really cool to see how you guys were doing some of those things, because it's obviously stuff that I want to do and expand Seat from its capabilities and all those other things. And you guys have done it really well.
Well, also, though, the personal conversations I thought were amazing. And that's where I found out what a good lyricist you really are.
Well,
Tell people a tiny bit about that.
So my last event that I did in Nashville exposed me to some musical things that really resonated with me. And post my event in Nashville, I had the opportunity to go to a country music festival, which normally I'm not a country music guy. It's not really a thing. And so the headliners for this event were Casey Musgraves and Noah Kahan. And Noah's obviously not traditionally put into the country music side, but he's more of a folk singer. Well, one of the things that I absolutely fell in love with was how they can tell stories through music. And so that got me in October of last year, where I sat down and started to pencil together some songs. And I had no intention of what that would come about from it, but the first one I did was it was a country music song called A Different Kind of Cowboy, and it was kind of written in homage to my grandpa. My grandpa was very much a cowboy. He was born and raised in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He was on the mounted sheriff's posse. I mean, as much of a cowboy as you could possibly be. And he was also a cowboy from the standpoint that he couldn't stay put. He was married 5 times, had 8 kids, and, you know, so there was some broken home piece to my mom's growing up and that. And so I wrote that in the song, you know, and when you tell that story, it's not about judgment. It's about just seeing things how they are. And so I wrote that, you know, in my own way, I'm a little bit of a cowboy too, you know, that I rebel against some of the things that I see need to be changed, and I choose to live differently than that. So I kind of approached it from that way, and that opened up a whole kind of world of recognizing how important it is for storytelling. And from the same kind of vein of it, in a lot of the songs that I've written, they are hopefully lessons for my kids, that when they listen to the songs, that those things resonate with them, and that they live beyond myself, and that it's not necessarily dad lecturing, but these are the life lessons that I've learned in my life. And I could sit on the couch and tell them, hey, don't do this, all those types of things. And they may or may not listen, but I put it to a tune, and some of those work, and some of them are just a heck of a lot of fun, like the one that I shared with you.
Well, when Seed comes this year, you're going to have to blast them over your audio intercom. Well, Josh, we will see you on the 27th, 28th?
The 28th through the 30th of June in Charlotte. Yes.
Yes, we will see you there for sure. And we're really excited about this. And by the way, watch for an email from me after the show. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, great job on your event.
Yeah, thanks, Dominique Wilkins. There's an inside story now. Anyway, we will see you in a couple of 3.5 months, I think.
Yeah.
Not that far away. All right. Take care, man.
Thanks, gentlemen.
All right.
I see the next person is.
So just tell me, is Jeff there?
It ain't him.
Okay, I know it is, but I was wondering if Jeff had shown up in the interim.
Nope, not yet.
All right, well, we'll probably do this. Will be the final person then. All right, so this gentleman was he decided to come kind of I wouldn't call it the last minute, but shortly.
The 11th hour?
Huh?
The 11th hour, maybe?
Yeah, the 11th hour. That's a fair way to put it. The 11th hour. He's been one of our community for a long, long, long time. And
that's a lot of longs.
Let's say this. When I met him, his beard was black. Right. So.
Okay.
Right. So let's bring on Nitin.
Before we do, there's some nice. I do have a bone to pick with him because.
Oh, okay.
If you recall, in one of those earlier happy hours, we were going over the blueberry bagel stuff.
That wasn't the happy. Oh, the original blueberry bagel thing.
Yeah, he was the one who called it an abomination.
That was not a happy hour.
It was a happy hour for me.
No, that was literally a show.
That was a show.
That actually makes it worse.
Yes,
So,
the closing show.
so
Forest
Nitin,
Hills,
you're just lucky to be here at this point.
Forest Hills
Well-
is an abomination, man.
Yeah,
The blueberry bagel abomination.
I think he
Right,
froze
so-
on us, which is
It's the best.
only fitting because he froze.
Yeah,
talking
you
about the
there
blueberry.
you are. Okay, wait. No, you're frozen again.
He's frozen until he
Right.
says something nice about the
Okay,
blueberry
now you're
bagel. He
good.
might
Now
not
you're
be getting it.
Am I back? Am I back? Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
he had to pay a little toll there, but yeah.
That's right.
Well, that's the thing. I fully expected that the morning of the event that there was going to be some sort of homage of bagels there, but let's let bygones be bygones. I mean, I think as far as I established, if you go back to that particular conversation, it was street cred to say that I had a little bit of Jewish background, right? And
That
that
was
I
great.
understood. I understood the bagel. I've lived in Queens, Forest Hills, Queens of all places, and I buy my electronics at B&H Photo. I mean, how much more street cred do you want? As a,
I
Right.
love that
you know,
store.
it's a street cred. So let me do the awkward transition, but the awkward transition into Atlanta. Atlanta's been an interesting place for me because for me, I know Atlanta as Buckhead, and that's it. I would say,
A little more to it than that, but okay,
Yeah. The amount of times that I've gone to Atlanta to go on a deal, or we have Nortel, some contacts that I was trying
Kind
to
of
suffer.
losing you.
Yeah, you're starting to freeze.
Yeah.
I've got everything off.
You're still frozen.
Yeah, your connection is a little rough there.
Yeah. Say it again. You say Atlanta has Buckhead, and then he kind of froze everything after.
So, for the most part, Atlanta has been a business-oriented trip, which takes you to Buckhead. It was great to be back, and great to be with friends, and new friends as well, over the last 2.5 decades, to get together. I thought that the happy hour before was fantastic. I thought the event itself was overall very good. I noticed somebody mentioned here in the comments, unconference. That's an interesting format. Here in the Mountain View, they've been doing the unconference at IAW for 20 plus years now. Unconference number 42 is running next month. And I've watched it run. It's really good, but it takes a different type of atmosphere. One suggestion that I would have, which is from a different type of conference presentation styles, I'm going to get the presentation wrong. It comes from Japan.
You're breaking up again. You're semi-frozen. Now you're fully frozen.
Okay.
And once you're frozen, we can't hear you.
Just fine.
Okay, now you're back. So you said different. I heard the word Japan, but that was it.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a storytelling format in Japan for presentations called Pecha Kucha. It's 20 slides, 20 seconds per slide. You don't stop. And essentially, it's almost like an ad in between the major events, major presentations. And my suggestion would be you randomly pick people. They have to run a Pecha Kucha about something outside of CRM in their life. Whether they went skiing the last time or some adventure. And I think what it would do is open up the audience even more to some of the interesting things like music and art and other things. So I'll send you a link to what that looks like because I've done it before. And it adds a bit more of a vibe. I think overall, fantastic job with the event. I was, very happy to be there. And thank you for inviting me.
Well, it was not exactly a difficult choice. It's not like we had to ruminate particularly on it. It was pretty obvious.
That was the choice for me going back to the blueberry bagel abomination.
Yeah, well, you know what? I still remember the day of when you made that statement. I think Brent was on, I was on, Esteban was on, and I think
wasn't Alan Berkson on there?
Alan was on. Yeah, and when you said abomination, all three, me, Alan, and Esteban, all three Jews there, right? We all went, yes, absolutely simultaneously, right? Everyone, yes. Yeah. It was amazing. It was like couldn't have been scripted.
I never felt lonelier in my life. But,
No.
I remember
Well,
Freelance
you
from
know, as a non-native Californian, I make fun of California pizza all the time. So I get, you know, to me, it's rough equivalent. If you haven't walked amongst the bagel folks, this is pizza is also a New York thing, right? It's not, or Chicago thing. It's not a California thing, right? So,
well, you know what? Though? I mean, I will say even the best bagel places in New York do occasionally sell blueberry bagels. No one buys them.
I guess I better walk amongst the bagel folks at some point. I don't know. But.
Okay. You have to put on cream cheese. You just have to put on a smear of cream cheese across your forehead, and then you're good.
Across my forehead?
Yeah, that's how you.
I don't see that one happening either. But you know,
this gives you an idea for next year.
Ooh, yes, it does. I'll tell you what.
Some sort of bagel,
blueberry bagel tasting. Okay, Brent.
Or bagel,
bagel,
something like that.
A bagel bake off. Not in Atlanta. No, sorry, I'm a New York snob on that.
Hey, I gotta
well, we
go.
gotta close out anyway. So
yeah, okay. I gotta do this. So I'm gonna take myself off for a second.
All right.
Oh, I did the exact wrong thing.
Are you coming back? And then we'll close
No,
okay. I have no idea what you said. Right, but I think I'm closing the show for all of us. All right. Well, Nitin, thank you, man.
Thank you.
For IRL 27, we're already starting to think about it a bit. That's one of the reasons we wanted to do this and get some feedback. Anyone out there who's been listening throughout, please feel free to get us feedback. We also, I haven't told Brent this yet, so I won't say what it is, but we're going to take something that was, I wouldn't call it back burner for our new website, which will launch in a couple months, and add to it. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, the contractors are leaving. So
I was ready to close the show. Right. So we're going to take something on the back burner that I think we're going to have to escalate to the front because of the conference. So thank you, Nitin, for everything. And I will be talking with you really soon.
Okay.
I would
say, appreciate both of you guys.
I would say thanks for almost everything. I'll just leave it at that.
Big hug.
We'll see you, man. All right. And I think that's it because we're actually a little over time.
Yeah, not too much. 3 minutes.
That was good. I appreciate everybody's feedback and recommendations and suggestions outside of the whole bagel slander thing. But no, I you know what? It's really cool where you have people that care about a community so much that they really spend time and spend effort figuring out ways to make it better. And that's what everybody that we just had on, it's fine. Yeah, I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it, but I really do like when they give us thoughtful criticism and recommendations and suggestions because they care.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, it really is. It's not a conference. Really, it isn't. And I don't mean anything bad here, Donnie, but it's not an unconference either. Right. It really is a community gathering with content. And that's what it is. I mean, the community comes first in this. The content comes with it. Right. It's just the nature of the type of community we have. And the thing is that I don't remember who mentioned it. One of the people who were on just mentioned about the warmth of the community too. Just basically, look. That's the thing. It's a welcoming group. It's a group of people. There were a lot, even though it wasn't discussed too much. There was a significant number of people who met for the first time at that conference, who had known each other for decades, in some cases, years otherwise, who had maybe seen each other on Zoom. Possibly, if they'd seen each other at all. And that was really important. And it happened last year, too, at IRL 2025 with Olga, Jeff Nicholson, and Jody.
Well, Keith Tier also met John Tashik for face-to-face after years.
These were face-to-face for the first time. Look, Jody, Olga, and Jeff Nicholson from IRL 2025, they all live in Boston and they hadn't met, and they met at the conference for the first time. Right. yeah, and that's the thing. And Thomas is right. It really did work. And look, again, I mean, I can't begin to say that how much to thank the teams that put this together with us. I mean, they were absolutely, they weren't good. They were extraordinary at a level that I've never seen when it came to just nonstop cooperation with Hilton and Chanel and Jeff and Thomas and Quentin and Richie and entire Kaltura team and Ruthie, you know, Eisenberg, that entire group. And I don't think I left anyone. No, well, yeah, well, no, and
Who's Richie?
Richie wasn't that the guy with who did the sound?
Oh, Rich.
Yeah.
Okay.
I call everybody Richie from New York. Right. So the guys that entire group and Monique and Christy, you know, that entire group just was working with me and Brent nonstop. And it was nonstop. I mean, Saturday, Sunday, evenings, mornings, you know, we'd wake up to 5 messages, and you wake up at 5 a.m. and you see 5 messages from people already up working on it. I mean, it was just astounding. And I will tell you, it was an enormous amount of work, which is once again why it's never going to be 2 days, right? I don't think it'd be I could take 2 days of it. So, you know, and it was just, honestly, for me personally, it was just great to see everybody. I mean, I really do love this group of people all the way around. And there were a bunch of people who couldn't come that I hope will come next year, who I also really love and would love to see at the event, because ultimately this is a gathering community. So thank you for attending. And obviously always thank you, Brent, for just being, you know, my brother from another mother, so to speak, always for all these years.
Yeah.
Partner, friend, and I just love you. And so, well, no, I no joke, everybody listening, I don't go a day without communicating with Brent. And if I don't hear from him for like 5 hours, I start worrying, because I am Jewish, right? So I can't help that.
He choked on a blueberry bagel. I'll just add, I just, on top of everything you said, I do want to give a bit of a special shout out to the sponsors, because we tell them right up front, this is not a demand gen thing. It's not lead generation. It's not the traditional kind of conference where you're looking to get leads. It is all around thought leadership and experimentation and trying things differently than you see at some of the other industry events. And for them to accept that, and not only accept it, but embrace it and allow us to be able to do those things by giving us the support we need. It's off the chain for me. It's really great. And I don't want them to think that we take it for granted. I don't think they do. I think it's important to acknowledge that there's some of the things that we tried. There's no way we would even attempt them if we didn't have the support coming from the sponsors.
And I will tell you another thing with the sponsors, just to add to what Brent just said, they're our friends, these people. And they're, you know, one thing that we've done from the beginning is just working for, you know, one of the things that annoyed the crap out of me in the industry has always been that sponsors are treated like lepers with money, right? Like, it's like, oh yeah, give us your money, but don't you dare talk to anyone, right? So, which is disgusting. They're human beings just like everyone else. And guess what? Their customers are selling stuff just like they are, right? So thank you, Nitin. You're right. we're the guardians. So guardians of the galaxy. So, but they are, these people, and even some of their competitors, and they know they're going to be competitors in the room, because there are, even if they're not sponsors, because they were our friends. And these are our friends. And we had, think of this. We had these companies sponsoring it. One representative company, as they were leaving the conference, said this was fantastic. Again, not at all demand gen. This was fantastic. Another one basically called me and Brent the best people in the world. You know who that is.
They don't know enough people.
No. we appreciate it, but it's probably not true.
So yeah,
it's just personal. It's personal.
And like you said, we do consider them friends, and we're able to bring those folks together who work at these different companies. But if you notice, there was no really any kind of overt marketing stuff going on. It was just we're just people talking about the industry and that are concerned about the direction and wanted to share their thoughts without bringing certain things that you might see at their events, because that's what their events are for. I mean, they want you to get to know their products and services, and it's their event, and it makes total sense. But they had enough respect for the community, not just for me and Paul, but for the community that is around us, that they wanted just to participate in the discussion, in the conversation, and that was it.
Yeah, I will say one last thing is, even though this is a trite term, the community, that event is really genuinely a safe space, right? And the interesting thing about it is somebody wrote this today, I think. I don't remember who. I think I saw it today, at least. I assume they wrote today, where they said, look, competitors could sit down with other competitors and just have a conversation, right? Or analysts aren't competing for business and so on and so forth. It's a gathering of friends in a community where they can just have the conversations that further everybody individually and further the community as a whole. And that's not there's two, and that's one of the pillars of the event. The other pillar is what Brent mentioned earlier, where we get to experiment and try new means of content distribution and approach it in a way that let's say hopefully benefits everybody in terms of the approach, given the 21st century and how it's evolving around these kind of things. And I'll leave it at that.
All right. So wow, what are we, March 17th or 19th?
Yeah.
Halfway through March. We are coming up on the end of the quarter. That means we have to start thinking about the executive roundtables for quarter two, and we got to keep the momentum going, because we just enjoy the stuff that rolled out of last week, and we want to keep it rolling and keep hearing from you guys as well. I mean, thank you for participating in this. We can do the traditional kind of the feedback survey stuff, but I think we like just talking with you guys, and we'll understand and we'll remember everything that's said, or even the comments that are left in all of the posts that have gone up. I mean, we didn't ask anybody to do any of that. And yet and still, there's a ton of it out there, and we're appreciative for people who wanted to share their experiences on here. But we're really appreciated as well for the folks who shared it, just posting on their LinkedIn profile. It's one of those things is I didn't see a lot of stuff on X. It all seems to be now going on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I don't see anything on it. I don't think I saw anything on X. Not even my POV. Right.
I had no idea that the whole thing had transitioned away from X, because everything is now on LinkedIn.
Anything on X tends to be about national politics at this point. So good.
Anyway, we will be back next week.
Yes.
And we'll be back to our usual stuff, because we wanted to do this. We couldn't put Stump the Godfather in, but we are coming back because we do have a new sponsor. So we gotta do that. But one thing that we will continue to do, that we've done forever and ever and ever, is say hi to Minnie.
And for those of you who are lucky enough, there was a sticker of Minnie that was on a few of your badges that I randomly placed.
And as we say hi to Minnie, we say bye to y'all. See you next week.
Bye.
That must be Minnie calling me right now.
Not my